do I need a microphone for?
It says we're going live. It says we're going live. It says we're here.
Does it?
It does.
Are we?
It does. Don't know.
You know what I don't have?
What don't you have?
I don't have my iPad, so I can't see the chat.
Don't have your iPad. The only thing I can see is the chat because it's the closest thing to me. Can I see what we look like on the screen? No. There's a problem or things get weird. I won't know. I can't see that part.
That's why I monitor that on my side
Okay.
of the table.
Teamwork.
Yeah.
It really does make the dream work.
Oh, geez. Okay. I'm leaving now. You have a good time.
No, you just sat back down, so we have to do this thing. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
You almost didn't know your own name. Of Love Hearing BDSM.
I did that deliberately,
we help
so there.
kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our monthly Friday night live stream. It's basically like a virtual Munch. It's mostly chit-chat, hanging out, talking about weird random things, but also at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern, that's about 30 minutes from now, there will also be a Q&A. We will talk about that when we get there. We like to ease into this live stream. So, I've had my existence validated.
Oh, goodness.
So, yeah, I know, right? That's a lot of us on the screen.
Yes, it is. I'm going to back that off just a little.
I like it. I do like it. Plus, it's harder, I'm going to admit it, but it's harder to tell I'm not wearing a bra. So, I'm here for it. That's what I'm saying. Now, my arms will flap way too much. If I didn't admit it, folks would know quickly enough. Today is not a day we're going to make ourselves wear a bra until midnight. It was also not a day that we weren't going to pull the hair back because I'm getting to that point where it's touching my neck and I'm like, no, I hate it. So, anyway, we're technically here a little early, but whatever. I'm going to say hello to folks. Hi, X. Hi, Junie. Hi, Eva. I'm scrolling. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, JB. I'm scrolling.
Hi.
No, you're John Brownstone. Hi, Weissman. Hi, Sassy Girl. Hi, Rara. Hi, Silent. I'm sorry. I'm reading your name as Michelle. If it is not, please let me know. Hello. That's. I just looked to you. Did I leave it just silent for folks? Sure. I, who am not comfortable with these kinds of silences. I'm perfectly comfortable with you and I to sit in silence. That's actually kind of lovely sometimes. But... Hi, Mr. Fister.
Evening, folks.
Yeah, the person who does my hair once offered to do an undercut for me, and I'm not, it doesn't appeal. But when I finally go back to get my hair done again, I won't be getting it colored for a while. I don't even know how long. So I'm gonna, next time I go get a haircut, it'll be to cut out all of the color. I have a feeling I'll have a short pixie for a while. I want to get to either a really short bob or a pixie bob. I'm not quite sure what the hell the difference is. Maybe a hair person out there can explain it. Because I like having enough hair that I can pull back in a little clip, or that JB can grab and yank me around by. But I have figured out I am not doing well with it on my neck anymore. I'm way too perimenopausal for all that bullshit. Now, when am I going to go get my haircut? I don't know. I really don't know. Mr. Spock says, with a teenager being homeschooled, you get moments of silence. Oh yeah, that child's very quiet. Mm-hmm.
He's one, try to encourage him to use his words.
That is a thing we often say. I'm going to need you to use your words. Even if I know what he means,
right.
I have to go, okay, I need you to say the words out loud, please. No, that's a very quiet child.
Yep.
And he has a low voice, and it's deepening just day by day. And so sometimes I'm like, what? And then he's annoyed, and then he doesn't want to talk at all because he said it 8 times, but I couldn't hear. He blames my, 44-year-old ears. I blame his very quiet, very deep fucking voice.
I have trouble hearing him sometimes, even when I'm wearing my bionics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really think it is mostly him because he's sort of a mumbler. Yeah.
It's like he sub-vocalizes.
Yeah, if that child is loud, he is as pissed as he's capable of being.
Right.
And we should all get out of his way.
Yep.
Hi, Kim. looking. Okay, making sure I wasn't listening.
I
in
heard
chat.
Lola shaking around out there, but I haven't heard
She
her
doesn't
at the
come
door.
to the door. No. Oh, what do we want to talk about to ease in to the chaos?
I don't know.
At least this is planned chaos. We know it'll be chaotic.
Yeah.
It's fine.
True.
I don't usually go back and listen to all of an episode, but I actually did that with this week's episode. I listened to every minute of it. I was amused by myself. I don't know if that is something I should be proud of or ashamed of.
Right.
Not sure. I do sometimes. What am I trying to say? Oh, I lost it. Sorry. No, I do sometimes listen back to bits and pieces of an episode to make sure I did not say something completely foolish. And I do like to listen to our bonus sections. Here, that's what's kind of weird. I am amused by our bonus sections and yet find it hard to believe that a bunch of other people are amused by it. So... I'm drinking Diet Coke tonight. I shouldn't. I should be drinking water. I don't care.
I'm drinking water. And I'm like you, Rara. I don't like listening to the sound of my voice.
After all this time, I am used to it.
Nope.
I don't find pleasure in it. I don't go, oh wow, I sound great. It's just a sound I'm used to hearing. What I really don't like is looking at myself. And it's not for because, oh no, I'm hideous. It's because I can tell how I've changed since we started doing YouTube. And it's like, no, I really wish we had not commemorated that. Oh, God. So, no, just over the years, I've gotten more used to it, more comfortable with listening to myself. But now that we're back to doing shorter videos once a week, I have to listen to that from start to finish to be able to edit it. So
I know. I have to listen start to end with that too, with the editing and the podcast side. So,
yeah.
But doesn't mean I have to like it.
I get it. It's fine. I do, other than, hearing the sound of my own voice because I have the ability to hear, I do spend a lot of time listening to my own damn voice because of the different bits of content that we're doing or the things we're trying to do, and so I guess I'm just immune to it now. I don't know. But before we came in here, what were you watching on TV? Oh, TV, on Netflix. Which was streaming on the TV, so I guess that counts as saying you were watching TV.
Yeah. It was on the TV that's hanging on the wall, so therefore it was on the TV.
On the TV?
Yeah.
So what have you been watching?
I have been...
You're welcome, by the way.
I figured it was going to come up.
Uh-huh.
So, Netflix has been, for some time now, telling me that I need to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Was it the
live action?
The live action, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I knew where this story started, I thought, but go ahead.
And I was going to jump in, and this one here sitting...
With the backing of the 14-year-old.
That's true. That's true. He did step up on that one, too. They recommended that before I watch the live action, I need to watch the original Nickelodeon animated version.
I've never been more proud of somehow convincing you to do that than I am of anything else I've ever done. That is the thing I'm most proud of.
So I did. I watched all 3 seasons of The Last Airbender, of the original animated series. And I loved it. When I was done, I told her, I said it was an amazing show. The message behind it was just incredible. And from start to finish, the characters, the growth of all the characters, and how they evolved over time was wonderful to watch. So I loved it. And then I dove into the live action.
Part of me feels bad because I knew, or I assumed, that if you watched the original first, you probably would not enjoy the live action quite as much. But I needed you to know why a big part of the internet is really pissed off about that live action.
Yeah. So, the live action, which I just finished.
And that's only season 1.
It's only season 1. And they've already, notice came up, 2 and 3.
Oh, they did? Okay, for 3
2 and 3.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I worried that they would do season 2 and then stop and leave everybody hanging.
No. So, yeah, I watched now the first season of the live action.
We can only hope that they'll take the criticism and the outrage from some of the people I've watched of the first season and maybe like adjust seasons 2 and 3.
So I told Kayla last night as well. Thus far, there are 2 characters in the live action that I am good with. Appa and Momo.
The non-human characters.
Yeah.
They got everybody else wrong, huh?
Yeah. Everybody else, I'm just sitting there kind of scratching my head.
You also have both the benefit and the whatever the opposite of benefit is. I can't think of words right now. To have the original so fresh in your mind, like you finished it.
Oh, and started the
Yeah.
live action.
So you can make you don't have nostalgic memories to go on from 20 years ago.
No,
like
no,
most
no,
of
no,
us
no.
do, or not 20, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But maybe 20. I was watching The Last Airbender when the oldest was like a little kid. That's when I was watching it.
Yeah.
So maybe 20 years ago. Anyway. So yeah, for you everything's fresh. So you finished season 1.
Yeah.
It's a big wah wah wah.
Yeah.
What were you watching before you came in here though?
So after finishing season 1 of the live action Avatar, I started on the first episode of Korra.
The Legend of Korra.
The Legend of
is what I think it's
Korra.
called,
Yeah. So I only got about 10 or 15 minutes into the first episode of that. So, and X said he watched the live action One Piece. I watched that too, and I loved it. It was great. One Piece.
Sounds familiar.
The one with the sailors, the kid that wanted to be a pirate.
Oh yeah, I wandered off.
Yeah, you wandered about. So
Silent. I had heard that the movie was pitiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little bit like me with your shows, the way I am with books.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a series or if there's others in the universe, you're gonna go. If you like it, you're gonna go ahead and watch everything you can.
Yeah.
I do it with books, where I'm like, oh, this universe, I got to read all the books before I can move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. So no, I loved the animated.
Yeah,
version.
it was fun to sit back on the background and kind of have it on and
Now,
watch.
like I said to you too, if I had come in and watched the live action without knowing anything about the original series or the I would have been okay. But knowing what I know,
I couldn't let you move forward in ignorance. I needed you to know
Yeah.
what you would have been missing. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm very proud of myself that I potentially wrecked you for a show that you're trying to watch, but you know.
No, you didn't really wreck me, but
You have to live with what they did with the live action.
I know.
I mean, if you are feeling brave, like Silent suggested, you can watch the 2010 movie, which I never watched it. Didn't care at that point. But the way I heard people talk about that movie was a lot like how they talked about the Percy Jackson movie when it came out, and how you and I like scream into the ether about Artemis Fowl. That movie.
Yeah. Oh my God, Artemis Fowl. Oh my freaking God.
Off about that.
Yeah.
I know, so are you.
I mean, she used to read that to the boys.
Yeah, first the oldest, and
Yeah.
then
And I was so caught up in the story between that and the dragon.
How to Train Your
How
Dragon.
to Train Your
The
Dragon.
actual books. 'Cause
The
we'd
actual
seen
books.
the movies. I didn't even know the movies were
Yeah.
based off of books, and then once you read the books, you go, oh, the movies are nothing like the books.
And yeah, I would sit there and listen while you read to them, you know, Artemis Fowl. And I loved the stories. And when they said they were coming out with a movie of it,
We were so excited. We were so naive.
Yeah.
we were so naive.
and we're watching it and like, what the hell is this?
We wasted a movie night on that.
Yeah.
Like, we made it like a special movie night to watch that. And then ended up yelling at the TV the whole time. Awful.
Yep. And it was the same thing, though, with Miss Peregrine.
Yeah, that was like completely different movies from stories from book to movie.
Yep. The books were great. Excuse me.
We have all the books.
We have all the
own
books.
Them all.
We read all the books.
There are 6 books. We read through 3. I didn't realize it went past 3. But we own every single one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the books were fantastic. What a great story that it went on. I would even say that would be a book that I would reread.
Oh yeah, I mean, we, however, money all comes from the same pot. When we bought them after we moved into this house and we had bookshelves and we could like own books,
have books, yeah.
That was a big thing. If I could find books, especially if they were maybe on sale or whatever, that were things we definitely had read and would reread or had read and adored. And that was a series. And then when I realized that there were 6, I think it's 6. I think we have and I know we have every single book, but we haven't read past 3.
But what they did with the movie was they took the 3 books,
tried to mash them all together,
and mashed them into an hour and a half.
Oh, that was awful.
And it was awful.
Nonsensical. Like, I mean, it's hard as the reader of the books to then separate in your mind the movie, because you know all the details that are being left out or the whatever, or that have been changed. But if I recall, I remember watching the movie and thinking, I expect it to change from the book. That's just a given. But this doesn't even seem like this isn't even a good movie on its own.
No.
Like some movies are genuinely good. They just don't follow the book close enough. They make too many changes, whatever. But the movie itself is still like enjoyable if you know, for people who've never read the books, it's fine. But that one was just like a nonsensical fucking movie. Like Artemis Fowl was just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like they cut so many important things and then rushed the end.
Yeah, exactly the opposite of what they did with The Hobbit.
I know, right?
Yeah. I mean, with Miss Peregrine, all the books, I really thought they were going to do, the first book, and then they could have continued on.
Yeah, they could have made it a franchise.
Yeah.
Because each story was interesting in and of itself.
In and of itself, but it all tied together. So, anywho, yeah.
Is that your sort of rant?
Sort of rant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and yep, been barreling through that, and now started Korra, Legend of Korra, and
I have not watched anything that you did not turn on for yourself. I've like we talked about on Wednesday, I've just been reading. And lately I've just been working. I started at 9 o'clock today, didn't stop till 9 o'clock tonight. So, that was fun.
yeah.
It was one of those days, though, that the things that I thought would take, this will take an hour and a half tops, was a 4-hour project. But I have that mind that goes, oh, wait, this is on my list, and it's been on my list for 3 days. I keep carrying it over. Instead of just carrying it over again, I go, no, I must complete
a 3-hour tour, huh?
Woo, yeah, so the first task that my brain stupidly thought would take an hour and a half, it is a thing I do every so often. I know it takes up a whole freaking afternoon. And then I went to the next thing, and that one I worried would take a long time, and then I whizzed right through it.
That's how it goes sometimes, yeah.
So
that's how it goes.
And then I've been meaning to look into it. I'm a little worried. It seems like it's probably a little shady, but whatever. I did it anyway. And then I went down a rabbit hole and got really super focused on it for like 2 hours and lost all track of time. I downloaded the CapCut app, which is a video editing app, but it's a lot of pre-made templates and memes and stuff that I'm always like, oh my God, I would love to do that reel. But I don't know how to do the editing. I don't know how to make that. And then I was seeing enough people, they would either hashtag CapCut or they'd have the watermark, and so I was like, let me just go find out. And then I went down a rabbit hole, and then I started making reels left and right, and either scheduling them or just saving them to my phone for right now. And it was like, I looked up and 2 hours had passed and my ass hurt and I hadn't moved from this position on my,
No wonder I haven't seen.
I got a reel made, like homemade. I just made it all with my phone. Got a reel made for the kinkery. Then I was going to go do something else. I can't even remember what. Dove down into the whole CapCut thing to the point that I left everything that I had pulled out to make reels for the shop just out. Our light box just still plugged in and turned on. We never do that. We always we're done, we unplug it. We don't want to melt anything. The box of paddles that I had pulled out to dig through, still out, lid not with the box, paddles across the room. I had to I've already put them away, don't worry.
What the hell?
I often worry that I don't, do I really know what a hyperfocus is? Today I did. Because I forgot everything existed. I have a pain in my neck from looking down at my phone. It was, yeah.
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 Yep.
I had been meaning to look into CapCut, then I did get it, but then at the bottom of the two things, it required me to let it have full access to all my photos and videos. Normally, like on Instagram, I just manage that now. I don't give full access anymore. I have way too many nudes on my phone to be doing that. But CapCut wouldn't let me move forward if I didn't, and I was like, well, I don't love that, but I want to use this app. And then as I was downloading at the bottom, it was showing like the address of the owner, like the corporate address, based out of China. I was like, well, it's connected to TikTok, so okay. Like you can, from CapCut, apparently you can post straight to TikTok, but I see where Rara is saying that, TikTok is suppressing it, so I don't know what that's about. But no, I'm making reels and I might move them over to shorts. I don't know. I've been wanting to make talking head kind of reels, but I don't know if I can ever be concise enough for 90 seconds. And actually, I want to keep them to 60 seconds so I can cross post them over to YouTube Shorts. And I'm just like, I don't know if I can be that concise.
Seems like you have a challenge in front of you.
Look, we've been doing this since 2015 and I haven't figured out how to become concise. You think it's going to happen now? Because the nuance, and you know what really pisses me off? Every time I post content where I'm like, it's a silly little sound, and I haven't even done reels for Loving BDSM's Instagram in ages. I just burned myself out, and I just got with it. But the times I would get the most engagement, but also the most back and forth and like, was the time I would do a silly little sound and a silly little like, 2-sentence kind of thing, and somebody would come into the comments and be like, well, this isn't very nuanced, and there's all these other things you haven't thought about. And one time I finally just responded to the person and went, it's a 7-second reel. If you want nuance, read the caption. I was pissed.
Wow.
I don't do that very often. So, like, I don't, like, can I get my point across and add the nuance that makes me happy on a concept in a minute? I just don't think I can. I know people who do, and I think they are wizards. I don't think I am that person. So, yeah. The problem I was having with CapCut, so CapCut, there's a lot of like green screen stuff. You just pop your photo in, and then there'll be an overlay, video overlay that's already doing, the music's already added. Like, it's super simple. You might add your own text. I was not loving the text in CapCut, so I went back to, not because there weren't 85 million fonts to choose from, but because I know which fonts I prefer in Instagram. And so I was like, I just want to use my Instagram fonts. Even though it's better in CapCut. I really have an issue. Anyway, I don't like it when things change. Anyway, so I was seeing all of these different videos that I was like, I can make that. And the problem I was having was finding the right photo for the green screen. Because it was like, it needed to be like a background photo. It either needed to set the scene or it just needed to be there. And I was like, I hate every photo I'm choosing. It doesn't tell a story. And so I got stuck. Oh, God. And I know I'm going to have to get over it. Like the reel I posted for the shop tonight, I was like, I filmed it 2 or 3 times and was like, I don't have the skills, the video skills to make this the way I envision it. I just gotta put it the fuck out there and move on. It was hard. I did not enjoy that part. So, yeah. But yeah, so I 2 hours. My neck is a little sore. My butt is sore because I didn't move out of I not only didn't, like, I sat, but I sat in the same position. So, like, I put all the pressure on, like, one butt cheek, and so that's the side that hurts. It's the side I'm putting pressure on right now, actually. Let's adjust. So.
Yes, money. Yeah, she channeled the Scorpio bitch from hell there.
I can do it in private. I can even do it with y'all if I'm talking about something else. God, poor JB sees it firsthand all the time.
I see it a lot.
Yeah, it's part of my charm. You did marry this, so you knew what you were getting.
It was in the fine print.
It was in bold. It was a heading at the top of a section. I do not hide this part from the people I have to live with, so the kids are very well aware too. But it is not something I tend to show often when I'm interacting with people that follow or that might buy a thing or they're a customer. Like, my customer service persona is pretty good. Mostly it's my anxiety that does that. I don't want to get into an internet fight. Like, I have zero desire. I won't. I'll just walk away. Like, fuck that shit. I've got things to do. But every once in a while, somebody will just hit me on the exact right/wrong day in the exact right/wrong moment. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll just let my personality really shine. I don't resort to name calling. I don't want to. If I'm a step away from the keyboard and getting to talk to JB, I'm calling him everything but a child of God. But I would not do that to their face. It's not how you make friends and influence people. No, so
that's not how you do it. Not how you do it.
Oh, Rara, I agree completely. Rara says making videos is my absolute least favorite part of podcasting.
Same.
The reason we do videos the way we do, like with live streaming, is to make it easy. I used to try to go back through and pull either audio clips or even
clips, yeah.
bits of video to make reels out of, and that was so fucking time consuming, and I hated it so much that I just stopped. Then when I was making short form videos, reels and stuff, I was just using sounds, but then lip syncing just annoyed the fuck out of me. Like I was like, I don't want to lip sync anymore. And I didn't want to worry about my background. I didn't want to worry about my angle. And I didn't want to worry about my lighting. And I didn't want to worry about any of it.
So there.
And somebody's going to point out very helpfully, but not as helpful as you think it is, that we should hire somebody or somebody else could do it. That's lovely for people who have a budget. We do not. We are not those people.
We do not have a budget.
We DIY it all around here.
Yeah.
So sometimes that means it does not happen.
Junie, I've heard that too about book talk, that
Can be, yeah.
you know, it can be a very ruthless environment in some cases.
Yes, and I have seen. Now, do I enjoy being on the outskirts, watching the drama, having it explained to me by YouTubers I like, and telling me all the things? Because both authors and book reviewers both can lose their damn mind. I've seen some authors do some shit that I'm like, did you want to sell books for a living? Because I don't think this is how you do it. And then I've seen book reviewers do shit where I'm like, why did you think that was a good idea? But, so, yeah. Trying to find, like, my calm center happy place. I don't think it exists today. I don't think it exists this week. It hasn't been an awful week, just very little is going the way I need it to go and the way I'm working on it to go. It's like, I know that you have to put in work for things and sort of plant the seeds, and then it'll come to fruition when it does, and it will, in my experience, the things I want to accomplish never happen on my timeline, in my timetable. But I know you got to keep going. You don't just stop because something doesn't work well. But man, I'm tired.
Yeah, it's been a week. I tried to end things on a good note. I got a couple paddles done that were ready to go out on order. Finished up a couple of canes.
They're beautiful.
They are beautiful.
I know.
They came out really nice.
I've been hesitating to wood butter anything. So if anybody's like, wood butter, what the fuck? The last part of finishing our paddles, all but one type of paddle, is a mixture that JB formulated. It's a wood conditioner. Goes all over. It's oil based. Goes all over the paddle. Sits for about an hour minimum. Then gets buffed off, and it's a beautiful shine. It's soft. The wood's protected. Great. My job is to wood butter. Paddles come in, I wood butter them.
Yep.
I realized why over the past couple days, because you gave me 2 other paddles I need to wood butter.
Yep.
Why I have been hesitant to wood butter.
Oh.
I get very much in. Oh, I just bumped the mic. I very much get into my work. If it's a heavy wood butter day, I've probably got it in my hair, on my face, and on my shirt by the time I'm done.
She's wood buttered too.
Right.
She's soft.
I'm very
and supple.
I am, but not because of the wood butter. And now, when I'm having to wear the finger condom, the last thing I want is to get it any yuckier than it might already be. Now, I had been trying to go without the finger condom, and those were the times I should have slid in and gone, okay, let's do this, but I was doing other things.
Yeah.
And now I had to go back to the finger condom because the washcloth at the kitchen sink got me. And
yeah,
I mean, I won't describe because I don't want to do that to you. But no,
it was enough that when I heard the noises coming from the kitchen,
you came running.
I came running.
Appreciate that. Okay, it's 10:01, so we're going to continue to chat, but now we are officially at the point where we will also, in between chatting, take your questions. So let me explain to you how this works. First of all, when you ask your question in live chat, please tag us. If you type at and you start typing loving BDSM, we should come right up. It lights it up for us. We see your question more easily.
Yep.
Second, if you ask a question and we do not answer it in the time that you think we should be answering it, do not spam this chat with your question. Our wonderful moderators will put you in a timeout, and they have our blessing to do it. 2, if your question requires multiple messages because you exceed the character count of live chat, this won't be the form for that. That's too much backstory. That's too much context. You can contact us through our website, lovingbdsm.net, and send your question there. And if, like, our contact page tends to come to us for podcast and episode questions. If you want like a written response, just put in the email that I just want a written response. This is not for the podcast. You can ask about any kink thing you want. You can ask about us. You can ask whatever. It's fine. We've got pretty strong boundaries. And also we're willing to say, I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. So yeah, we're going to keep chatting, but if you have a question, feel free to ask. Just please tag us. Go.
Scuba Ninja, how many jokes are you allowed to make about wood butter? Well, that's a slippery slope.
Jesus Christ. Really? Well, it's funny because with maybe not all of the ingredients of your wood butter, but with some of the ingredients of your wood butter, you could probably reformulate just a little bit and it would be wood butter, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, we probably could make our own oil-based lube at this point.
Yeah.
I would be, since we're very slowly potentially getting back to having wooden butt plugs on the site again, I would be down to also offer an oil-based lube. Oil-based lubes are our preference anyway, because we're not using condoms and we're not using sex toys that don't play nicely with oil-based lube. So, or if we are using one of those toys, we're using a water-based. But like oil-based for us, that's penetrative sex time. That's some body part is going into some other body part, and we need lube. And we love it. I'm here for a lube that will also moisturize, okay? I'm just... just saying. And since we parted ways with, a preferred lube company...
Yes.
Been missing it.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
But also...
But,
we're poor ass bitches, so we better make our own. We DIY everything. So
there we go. Yep.
But DS Buddy says wooden butt plugs. Can I get more information? We at the very beginning of the shop, the Kinkery, JB made them, we sold them, and then they did not get restocked. They're still not officially been restocked for literal years. But they are slowly coming back. We're not going to restock them till he gives me enough that I'm like, this is inventory.
They are time intensive to make.
Yeah, because it's not just about turning the wood; it's then finishing the wood so it is safe for insertion.
The turning of them is very simple. The sanding, pretty basic. It's the finishing that takes
a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, you in the first time we had them, you had 2 sizes. We called medium and large, with the idea being there might be small ones later. Your large was pretty fucking large, but yeah. Oh look, that's right. We have auto. Let me get my head out of the way.
Yeah, get your head out of the way.
Okay. Nah, it's also shiny, so there's that. So yeah. They're pretty. We just need more of them. That's all. Don't be making a mess of my inventory over there. You want to watch a grown woman cry? Fuck up my inventory. Oh, I meant to tell you, I think we're either out or down to our last evil stick. We're gonna need more of those.
Okay.
Thanks. Kim, that's funny. DS Bunny asks what would be the best lube. Water-based is probably the best. I can't remember. You're changing your finishing process now, too.
Yeah, but it's still
the same. Yeah, water-based. Yeah, when he's putting the finish on them, he has to tie up his lathe because it spins and around for how many hours?
It's got to sit and spin for at least 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that, and if he ties up his lathe in the shop, that means that's a whole piece of equipment that he can't be making other things on. So he has to time it for like the 24 hours it's going to start and end at a time he doesn't need to be doing any of that.
Right.
So that is another reason it is such a slow process.
Usually it's on a Friday because that way I can let it run through the weekend because I normally have to put a couple coats.
Mm-hmm. It might be one of those things I think we've talked about this in the past for a couple other things that we might have to do it as drops where instead of trying to restock all the time, like most of our stuff when it sells out, we'll start working on restocking again. Butt plugs might have to be, we just do drops as you get a bunch made, they're there, and we don't worry about it till you get another bunch made. And,
mm-hmm.
But
yeah, no, yeah, we're working on. Oh, can I show? Well, can you show off? Because you're better at this. Some of the like behind the scenes what we've been working on. Nothing is ready to be released yet because we're perfecting our finishing process. Yeah.
But we've been playing with resin daggers, and these are actually the smaller ones. I have a mold that has some really big ones. I haven't made those yet. And the ones I've got right now that have been made are the resin is left over. I'm gonna get my head out of the way. Is it focusing? It's hard. It's little. Yeah. It's made with leftover resin after I've done pours for other things, so no resin is going to waste to the best of our ability. They are sharp. They on me, I mark up fairly easily when we drag it across the skin to test it. I get a red mark that goes away fairly quickly, but I do get a little red mark. So we were thinking of sensation play. This would not be to take wax off. No. But if you want a pokey thing to run across the skin. So, but these are little itty bitty ones.
They can see, the size.
Yeah.
It fits to the hand.
Yeah, but the ones I haven't poured yet are
there's some bigger molds,
like 9-10 inches long. So yeah, I'm trying not to pour a whole bunch until we get our finishing process perfected. Because I don't want to waste resin. So yeah, but yeah, I use it with leftover. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll pour leftover resin into one of the molds, and it won't be full. So the next pour, here comes another one. So colors mix. The only color, air quote that doesn't seem to mix well with the resin we're using is the glow in the dark. I have poured more glow in the dark than a tinted resin into a mold, and you can't even see the glow in the dark. It's like, damn it. But yeah, those will be a new thing for sensation play. We also have to start. I think my hesitation is if the finishing technique we're going to use on the daggers works, then we would use it on resin paddles. But that's also the next thing.
Yeah.
Scuba Ninja asked, do you think you could impregnate the resin with something like maybe chopped up tinsel and make them conductive? I don't know. I don't know anything about that. You can put things in resin.
Sure.
But the conductivity, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know they do it with mylar and rope. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's...
The information on resin work that is easily come by to learn from others tends to be very vanilla stuff. I mean, even learning how to make wax play candles, I was digging through the depths of the internet to find information. So... But...
I'm going to show off the other two paddles, too.
Yeah, they're not wood buttered, so they're not as beautiful as they will be, but yeah. Now, somebody tried to say both of these were mine, which you're about to see, but let me just tell you, one of them is mine, and only one of them. I'll get my head out of the way.
This one actually.
Oh, good. Oop, don't trip.
But now you'll see why I said about the other one.
It's not mine. It's not mine. It's not mine. I do not claim it. Oh no, that lady geek, that sucks. See, I couldn't remember. Did we have 1 or 0? Apparently we had 0.
Oh.
I think that's true. I found a couple of inventory counts that have been
were off.
Yeah, because I have somebody who tried to buy a large white candle, and I did not have any large white candles, so I'm going to send them 2 small candles. They'll technically get more.
It's wood burned, Mr. Spot.
Yeah, I'm curious. No, would that work?
What?
Could we stain a paddle and then wood burn it, or stain it after you wood burn it? I don't know. Thank you, Kim. You're gonna get a reputation too if you're not careful. I'm just saying. Don't choke.
Yeah.
Mr. Pfister, not tonight. Not tonight. Our energy is not there.
No,
but
no.
maybe we'll do that soon. Yeah, you've been playing with doing something else, more of a. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Do you know how to describe it?
No.
We can't talk about it because we don't even have the
No.
language for it. Another way to add words like sassy and brat and other
Right.
words to paddles.
On the evil stick handles, no.
Not the way they're finished,
Not,
right?
not the way they're turned, and no, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah. With the stain, we're a little bit limited. I just finished and sent out a custom order. It was the second one we've done where it was a resin inlay. It was a moon phase, and they wanted the wood stained black, which we use our unicorn spit for that. Oh my god. I don't know.
It looked good.
It's beautiful.
But it's a lot of work. A lot of work.
Part of it was this resin didn't want to cooperate after it had hardened in the paddle and needed to be sanded down. It was not sanding to the right look, the way it's supposed to look. So then we had to stop. I had to pull back. I had to do more resin work. Then I had to go back through the sanding process. And then because the problem is you cannot stain it and then pour the resin, because then once you go sanding, it's gone.
Right.
So you have to pour the resin, let it cure, do all of the sanding, then add the stain around all of the moon phase.
Yeah.
And you got to be precise. And I'm a perfectionist, so I'm trying to not let it be streaky, and I'm trying not to let it be that there are I can't think of the word I want, but indications that the stain is going on in different directions. Finally figured out the technique for that. Spent more time cleaning stain off the resin than I did adding stain to the wood. It's beautiful though. It is beautiful.
Yeah.
I hope they love it.
So Kim, if there is an order that comes in from him, you want it to be expedited and sent out priority?
Yeah, I don't turn down orders. I don't. I like money. I like paying the bills. I like sending fuckery to people. So. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. We either are not charging enough for those. I mean, we do. It's an upcharge, but I don't know if I'll offer it again. It's tedious.
Yeah, it's very work intensive.
And then I'm stressed the whole time because I am a perfectionist, and I'm like, I can see all of the problems with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we've changed our glow in the dark mica.
Yeah.
And still having to learn that to get the right balance so it fucking glows. Kim, I'll take your money for that too. So it's whoever pays me the most and gets it to me fastest. That's how that works. There are items I would pay to not have in this fucking house. So I feel you on that. I do. I really do. Oh God. Yeah, definitely make it worth the cost of shipping. I definitely support that. We have folks who'll order from the UK or Canada or whatever, and it's like an order that I'm not even sure I can fit into a box, our biggest box. But I'm like, I get it. If you got to pay $30, $35, $40 for shipping, you better get your money's worth.
Start a bidding war. Look, this is what they ordered. This is how much you ordered. Can you match that?
How much are you willing to pay me to not ship it? Oh, lost in transit is my nightmare words. I've got an order from Germany that got sent back because the person was out of town when it arrived, and so they couldn't claim it fast enough, and Germany went, fuck this shit, and sent it back. They sent it back in February. It still is not here. I've had to reship one of the items that we had in stock, and then gave the person the option to either just wait for us to restock or to get their box back and reship the other item, or I offered a refund. They're like, I'll wait, it's fine. It's like, thanks. But ultimately, to get everything to them, the shipping costs are times 3 because it's now 3 separate it's and then in the same time frame that I'm helping that customer, another thankfully US based customer forgot to add like the apartment number to the address, and so it came back, but it came back in like 4 days. I got it right the fuck back out. So Pinky asks, any tips healing from a breakup? First DS breakup after 6.5 years with my daddy. How can I keep my submissive feelings for myself even though I'm single? My heart aches really bad. First of all, I'm so sorry. That's DS breakups suck. I don't care how long you've been together, but 6.5 years, that's a long damn time to be with somebody. It is. So to me, your first priority is to take care of you, okay? Grieve the loss. Be sad. Feel whatever your feelings are, and feel them for as long as you need to. Like, normally I kind of try to warn people not to wallow, but 6.5 years, you don't get over that in 5 minutes, right? Like, so that's, to me, that's your top priority, is taking care of yourself, and whatever it is that helps you, gives you comfort, helps you feel better, just gives you space to just be sad if that's what you need to do, you just do it. Do not try to rush this process. There's no schedule you're on for this. No. Through that, sometimes for some people it's after, some people it's during. They can do both. You know, when you feel ready, not when you feel like you should. Anytime you're telling yourself you should be doing something, you're just guilting yourself into something. Just don't should all over yourself. But when you want to focus on feeling like a submissive in some way, or just connecting with that part of yourself, part of that depends on how you're wired. So, like, if you are a person who wants to be around other kinky people, whether online like this or in person, then go do that and make kink friends. Not with the idea of finding a new partner, but just being around people. Just
have friends.
Yeah. While you're single can be a good time to learn new skills, or learn about kinks that you are interested in but just don't have a lot of experience with. So workshops and demos and whatever. Anything, when you're ready to do it, I would not rush it, but when you're ready, if you want to look within and go, okay, what are things I can improve about myself for future relationships? Was it communication? Was it, saying the hard thing, whatever, like wherever you could have done better in any relationship, not just the specific one. That's a good time to start working on that. So like if communication is a struggle, which it's a big struggle for most people, then there are books you can read, and there are, podcasts, and there are videos, and you can learn about improving your communication skills. Some things that I know specifically for submissives that they like to do, and a lot of us being online creators have these things. They'll do things like keep a journal, or they'll do workbooks, or they'll do prompts to kind of have that time every day, once a week, whatever, to kind of get in touch with their submissive self. So like through Etsy, we have 30 Days of DS. Rara, I believe, has a submissive reflections workbook. Rara, correct me if I'm wrong. A submissive guide.com. They have those kinds of things. But I would not try to rush all of that. I would not try to put a time limit on dealing with letting the heartbreak, be there and exist, and working through that. And I think it's when I would not tell yourself that you should be doing anything, as a submissive right now. Wait until you're like, actually, I kind of want to, or I miss this part of myself. Even if it's hard, I'm willing to try and do some stuff, and then just start small and start with the stuff that you like are thinking about, and but yeah. So yeah, but yeah. Okay, Rara said yes. Yeah, because okay, so I was creeping on the Pink Kink podcast Instagram earlier because I knew I had seen some funny but like memes that like I was like, yeah, I agree too. And so I was like, I need find that those. Right. And that's when I scrolled and I went, oh yeah, that's right, they have a workbook too. So yeah, God,
yeah.
we did one way back in the day. Yeah, I know. And the problem is if it's one of those topics, I think that's timeless, so can be redone. But I'm, knock on wood, so far away from that anymore. I'm not sure how helpful I'd be. That lady geek asks, favorite yes, no, maybe checklist online. Ours.
Yep. Yep.
If you subscribe to our newsletter, you get one emailed to you. You can download it. Yeah. It's free. You gotta give us your email address. I believe in the description box there is a link to subscribe to our newsletter, and you can do it that way.
Yeah.
So, after that, I don't have any particular favorites. Before we made one, we would just Google, and whatever came up.
Yeah.
There's none that I have not come across. Ours is 7 pages, maybe more now. I haven't updated it in a couple of years, but it is long, and I still could have put more things on it. So I have not come across anybody's who's like, what was the word I was going to use?
In depth.
Yes, but where it has everything you could possibly, maybe
encompassing.
Thank you. Maybe somebody has, and they should charge for that if they did. But even the ones I found when I used to Google and they were free, even if they were a couple of pages, they were helpful in and of themselves. So yeah. Pinky gave us a follow-up. Thank you so much. His career caused him to move to another country. After a year, the distance did us in. The distance is hard no matter how far away, but another country, that's a lot. Yep. So yeah, I probably need to go. Let me just add that to my list. I need to go back to our checklist and see if there's anything I need to update. Things I'm aware of, better ways to word things. I remember the last time I did do the update, it was like at the midnight hour. I don't remember what the time crunch was for, but it was I I think a self-imposed deadline, but maybe it was not. I don't even remember anymore. But
I know I put a few things in the in our Discord server. One is a rope checklist for negotiating a rope scene, and the other is a laundry list of vetting questions.
I have been wanting to, and I don't know if I'm the best person to do this. You are a better person, and I will be your scribe. I have been thinking about putting together a whole little workbook of negotiation sheets and a checklist and a this and a that, and popping up on our Etsy shop.
Yeah.
But and not for expensive, because I think most of us are just going to Google and we'll find a free one or whatever, and I think that's fine. But for like a whole, like, here's all your stuff in one.
Here's everything all in one.
Right.
Yep.
But also, I still want to do a workbook on DS and parenting. And DS Bunny put a bug in my head about the punishment and rewards workbook and class that we did for the virtual summit. If that will be available in some form or fashion, I have not decided.
Are you writing this shit down?
It just, that stuff lives on a loop up here. It's part of the constant hum.
See, I couldn't do that. It would eventually just...
It's 44 years. I don't know any different. Since I've been able to have, like, form thoughts and remember them, this is who I've been.
If I don't write it down...
My problem is, if I will write things down to get them out of my head so I can think about other things. But they have to be things that I'm going to... that are in my immediate future. If I write down, and I have done this before because I thought I was being organized. If I write down all of the things, there's not a sticky note large enough or where its stick will last long enough for when I get to it. So I've tried many times to do notebooks of all of my ideas, compile them out, get them out of my head. Great. And then what happens is I close the notebook.
And you never go back to it.
Out of sight, out of mind. Gone. Now the ideas, some of the ideas, once I write them down and put them out of sight, out of mind, out of mind, I'll forget I ever had that idea. The stuff that I can write down and have it easily accessible, visible, I'll never forget. But there's mostly just a constant background hum.
Yeah.
Yes, X. I have the same sort of viewpoint.
Yeah,
a good idea will stay.
Yeah, I've had that too. You know, if it's a good idea, it kind of just keeps recirculating itself and coming back. It
used to make me sad when I would have an idea that I would get really excited about, but I knew I couldn't do anything about it right then. So I'd go I'd say if it's one I'm meant to follow through on, it'll come back around or it'll stay there, and then it would be gone one day, and I wouldn't even remember the idea. I would just remember that I had had an idea and it was now gone, and I would be sad. Slade Strife asks, what tips would you give for someone having an anal toy inside for an extended time, i.e. a few hours? Please do not be a newbie and leave an anal toy for a few hours. That is a thing you work up to.
Yep.
Also, you should be prepared to to reapply lube. That's not a one and done. I don't care how good the lube is. Also, listen to your body. If it becomes uncomfortable,
time to take it out.
Or if you stop being able to feel anything,
right? Yeah,
it's time. I don't care how long you were trying to get to. Just remove it. What else would you say?
I think that's pretty much, You got it.
Yeah. Okay.
You got it.
Mm-hmm. If you had a more specific question about a specific toy, feel free to follow up.
And actually, we do have one more question.
Did I miss it?
Yeah. The tag didn't take correctly.
Okay. Do we have any tattoos?
Okay. I do not.
But you want them. We're too broke for that shit.
Yeah. I do want some tattoos. I've had an idea for one specifically for a long time.
Yeah, and that's to commemorate somebody.
My sister, yeah.
I do have some small ones. Only one is not one that I go, God, I kind of wish I hadn't done that. I don't regret anything, but I do. 44-year-old me is like, man, 20-year-old me was a dumbass. So I got one. My first one when I was 17. It was homemade. That was a homemade tattoo gun, and it was, it was done by a guy who was a couple years older than me, but he was a damn idiot. So I was an idiot for letting that idiot tattoo me with his homemade tattoo gun. But it is still there,
Yeah.
and the colors are pretty fucking vibrant. So maybe he knew what he was doing. I thought I was very clever for this. It's right at the top. In that crease at my pelvis and my hip, like right up here, because I knew I could hide that from my parents. It's 2 cherries still attached at the stem, and one has a bite taken out of it and cream coming out of it. I thought I was so something for that when I came up with that at 17. Then at 20, I wasn't 21 yet. Me and my then BFF, who proved to be a toxic human being and at a certain point was no longer my BFF, we got the quintessential 90s, early aughts thing of, we think that, I think it's a Chinese symbol. I hope it is. Means what it might just say bread. I don't know, but the tattoo place said friend. And so we each got that. And then a little butterfly next to it. We got matching tattoos. I would never do that now. If I ever get the money, I would cover that shit up. And then when I was 30, I was going through my divorce. My aunt gave me money for my birthday and said, you cannot use this to pay a bill or buy something for the children. This is your birthday money. Go do something stupid with it. So I went and got a tattoo. It's a stylized scorpion that at a different angle actually looks like a swan. I never saw the swan. I always saw the scorpion, but I got that for being Scorpio. They're all kind of in the same place on my shoulder, like in the same general area. The regret I have for that one is not getting it. I love it. I'm glad I got it. But I went to like a tourist spot tattoo shop and paid way too fucking much. These days, what I paid then for a black all one color black tattoo that's about 3 inches long, what I paid for it then is what I would probably pay for it now. It was $100 and some odd dollars. 14 years ago, I should have paid $50 fucking for that thing. But yeah. So no, I would cover everything but the scorpion up. I do not have the money and may never have the money for this. I would love like whole arm kind of deals, whole thigh kind of deals. I love the ones that are very vibrant, and I like the watercolor style. I know they're super painful, but there's at least one person I know of online, and there's probably more, but this person goes viral and has a lot of followers, who does what looks like, she makes it look like glitter, but apparently it's super fucking painful.
Okay.
But my thing for, once I started getting tattoos, and then when I still thought I didn't realize I would not have the money for that. I always wanted them to mean something, and I would get myself all twisted up because I was like, I want a tattoo, but it's got to mean something. Now I'm at a point where it's like, I just want to like decorate my skin. I just want beautiful things. I do want at least one tattoo. I think I want it on my forearm. I saw it online, something like it. It was like a line drawing, just black, real simple. It was the flowers of the birth month of people you care about. So I want one that is the boys and JB, like as a mini little like thing, all connected, because I love them a lot. That's the only one I know for a fact I want that would just have meaning. Anything else, I just want it to be, I don't want it to be little teeny tiny dot ones. I want like a thing that covers, and I want it to be beautiful. But I also want the money that you have to get those kinds of tattoos. Because if we get to a point where we can both afford tattoos, holy shit, life has changed for us.
Yeah.
But there is a tattoo place here in Florida. Are they in Orlando? I just came across them online, and I should have followed them. It's their tattoo place. It's all pink. It's all very feminine. It's not like your stereotypical tattoo place. And they have their artwork and their prices, whatever. But for people who are on a budget, they have vending machines where it's here's what your designs could be, but they're in those little bubble things, and you put in your money, and it comes out, and that's the tattoo you get for whatever the price is listed. So it's like, that might be a $25 tattoo, and it's teeny tiny and like just a black line or whatever. It might be a $50 one, but they're pre-designed, so that work's done for the tattoo artist. They've already designed them. But it's you get what you get is the concept. And I was like,
it's a roll of the dice.
I am way too controlling for that because unless every single one on that board was something I would desperately want, I would hate to do that because I know my luck. I would get the one that I was like, God, I hope I don't get this one. That's the one I would get. But I did think that was interesting.
DS Bunny asked, we think any of the kids would get tats.
The oldest is said he wants them.
The oldest,
he's broke.
Yeah, the oldest I could see doing it in a heartbeat.
He told me while he was still a senior in high school, he was like, I'm just waiting to be 18. I'm going to go get a tattoo. And I told him that summer, I was like, I don't care. I just want you to be 18. You're a legal adult. Then you are responsible for your own damn decisions at that point. Yes, you can still come to mommy for whatever you need, but I mean, nominally, you're responsible for your own decisions. And he had planned to do it over the summer before going to school. And he had the money then to do it. And then I don't know if he got distracted. I don't know if he changed his mind. I don't know if he decided he wanted to spend his money on other things. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I have not heard him talk about it since then. But that doesn't mean shit. He's so busy with his college life. He don't tell me shit no more. So.
Right.
The youngest,
I don't see it. Not him.
Here's what I think. And I could be off base. I could see him wanting one.
Yeah.
And then I could absolutely see him going, oh, hell, fuck no, once he realizes it's going to hurt.
Now, I could see him doing a henna tattoo.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. But, yeah, no. But he's already branching out in whatever, because we've got a date this weekend to paint his nails again. He came to me a few weeks ago. He was like, I want my nails painted. I'm like, okay, we can use my colors, whatever. What do you want? I told him all his options. And when I said I had black, one coat black from Hollow Taco, thank you very much, which is truly one coat black. He was like, oh, I said, we can do whatever. I was like, I got pink, I got blue, I got, whatever. I was like, I got sparkles. And he picked black as his base, and then I had an orange glitter topper from Hollow Taco, of course. And so he did that. I'm not a nail person to I did not fully prep his nails. We just were playing. It was gone in a couple of days. But he's purposely not chewed on his fingernails for a couple of weeks to get a little length on them, just a little bit. And we're gonna try and paint them again this weekend. We might use the same color combo. He might choose something else. I don't know. Yeah, Junie, it absolutely is the best black nail polish. It definitely is. Yeah, I was trying to get him to branch out. I was like, I've got some pinks. I've got some shifty kind of things. He was like, orange. He's like, black and orange is the superior combination. At Halloween, the only two colors that matter are black and orange. I'm like, don't forget purple. He's like, black and orange is the superior combination. I'm like, well, actually, I think purple and black is the superior. He's like, that's fine, but actually... you can continue to be wrong, Mom. It was sort of the attitude. So. But yeah. So, JB has a closer to home adventure to go on this weekend, so that's probably when we'll do that. So. DS Bunny asks, it's for you, JB. Understandable if this is too personal. Before you met Kayla, were you child free? If yes, was this a conscious choice?
I have no biological children of my own. Don't mind. I don't. I was married for a number of years. Person had 3 children. And it was a nightmare.
To the point he almost didn't want to be with me once he found out I had children.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But so prior to meeting that person, in that part of your life before you met your ex-wife, did you think I'll have children someday, or was it just not even on your radar? Or
it pretty much wasn't on my radar, and I'm not going to go into the. I talked to you. I explained to you.
I'm sure you did.
I did.
I don't have any doubt that you did, but did I just whoosh it out?
Oh no, you were when I explained to you the
Right.
reason, you were like, yeah, that makes total sense. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
You'll have later. Just give me
Refresh.
a one-word reminder, and I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it worked out for us that by the time you and I met, he had to get over his worry that wait, I've just been traumatized by raising stepchildren, and I just got out from that. Do I want to do this again? But I was also at a point I was like, I'm not having no more damn babies. We're done here. Yeah. So that worked out very well for us. So based, and I hate that my mind is a fucking sieve, that I, in this moment, cannot remember your exact reasoning, but would you call that a conscious choice?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah. Most of parenting the oldest through his teenage years was JB processing what amounted to trauma. Like, he went through some traumatic shit as a step parent. And yeah, he had to go through that, and then to learn new ways of parenting.
Yeah. And
so that was a fun journey for us.
And the oldest at that time, he also learned very, very well how to push my buttons.
Oh, teenagers, they'll find buttons you didn't even know existed.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and so, I think back to this combination of traumatized you. I don't think so.
No, she's not.
No. Traumatized you, being triggered every day this child even looked at you cross-eyed, right?
Yeah.
Also, breaking a cycle of we're not going to parent the way we were parented, right? And an undiagnosed, unmedicated, depressed ADHD child.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that the walls were still standing and everybody now to this day loves one another is the miracle. Yeah. In a way, it's made it easier on the youngest because we've gone through, like, anybody with multiple kids knows you're raising different people, so nothing you did the first time works the second, works the whatever, right? Like, we get that, but the things we learned about ourselves are coming in handy now.
Yes. Yeah.
So.
And no, one is a Cancer,
just like you.
Yeah.
And one is a quintessential Virgo. With like no fucks to give. None. The youngest is the Virgo. The oldest is the Cancer.
Yeah.
The oldest shares his birthday with his biological father. That was actually the day that child was born was the most stressful day of my life, and well, one of, I should say, and not because he was being born. That was stressful, but not because of that. Our water had been turned off the day before he came into this world, and I had to call his father while he was standing in line to try to get our water turned back on and go, I think my water just broke. We need to go to the hospital. And we only had one working car at the time. And we were dead ass broke when this child was born. And so the plan for my ex-husband's birthday was we were going to get pub subs, which if you know, you know. And so at about 6 o'clock in the morning, I've got this icky gooky baby on my chest, and I found one clean spot, and that's the part I touched. And his biological father's off in the corner looking dazed, just like he'd been hit by something. And he goes, and I looked at him and went, happy birthday? And he goes, I just wanted a pub sub. I was like, I mean, same. Same. But, yeah. Before we rebandaged it, it was bleeding. Does that count? because when I
she
snagged
smacked it.
snagged it good. The cloth hit that part where it splits and pulled back, and it was not good. It was not good. So, yeah. You know what? I've been meaning to just tell you this because I had this. No, it's not it's not even a kink thing. I had this realization, and I could have kicked myself for not figuring out a better way to say it sooner. So, the oldest was only conceived because we switched up a brand of condoms. We got the cheapest ones one time and not our usual Trojan, and then I was pregnant. And so the oldest has been in touch with that side of himself, with desire and all that from a very young age, like in my mind, too damn young. And so from a very early age, I've been like, here are condoms and please wear them. And I was honest with him. I was like, baby, you were conceived because the condom broke. And I did not realize until just like less than a year ago that he had internalized that as he was an oopsie, but like he kept going. But he told me a couple times, he's like, y'all were broke when, like, why did you even have me? You know, he's like, did you have to have me? Like, what did you force it? Like, what? Why did you have me? And finally, like in the past 6 months, I said, dude, please stop acting like I didn't know what my choices were, even in South Mississippi, even in 2004. Yeah, 4. I was like, I chose you. I knew what my options were, and I chose you. And his whole face just lit up like and I could have kicked myself. I was like, I have not explained this well to him about why I'm so serious about him wearing fucking condoms. Always wrap it up, maybe wrap it up twice. Ask your partner about their birth control options. Like, I do not want to raise grandbabies.
Wrap that rascal.
Oh my God. And I mean, it's like, oh great, I already got enough mom guilt. Let me just. But his whole face lit up like it had never occurred to him, because he had overheard the stories, and I've told the kids their not their conception stories, but like their birth stories and all that stuff. And I found that kids, even real cynical ones, seem to love to hear that. And the youngest, I planned his ass. I was like, oh, I won't have one child. I was an only child. We're not doing that. I'm going to have a second one. That is when I solidified my family reputation as a fertile myrtle, because everybody kept telling me that you have to be off your birth control for like more than a month before you can possibly get pregnant. I think I had been off of it for a week. And there I was, just pregnant. And I think he had internalized that as he was the one I was stuck with. And I was like, and the moment I told him that, I was like, fuck, I should have said that. I don't know how long before, but yeah. Yeah. So, but, yeah. And that's my trip down memory lane. Yeah, that's true, Mr. Spock. We just made sure he had decent ones, and yeah. No. I somehow, I don't think I did it. I don't think we did it, but we apparently raised a good one, the oldest. So we went to see him on Tuesday. He was blunt. I think we said that during the live stream. He was real blunt. He was ready to go do his own thing. And we were fine with that because we've met this kid, okay? We know who he is. I get a text on Wednesday where he says, I just want to apologize for how I treated y'all last night. You didn't deserve that. That was not okay. I'm sorry for that. And I told him I didn't need an apology. Nobody was upset with him. We know who he is. We understood. We love him. He comes back and goes, it's fine that you're okay with it. I'm not okay with it. So I just want you to know that. And I was like, I said, we love a self-aware king. And then he goes, you need to get off Instagram Reels. It's like, I do know terminology without having watched a reel, but whatever. So. Yeah. I was like, I don't think I did that. I don't know how he learned that, but I'm grateful he did. Like, and now we're gonna go see him on Sunday because he needs to go to the grocery store.
Yep. I'll be right back.
Okay. Just a reminder if it's not a reminder, if you just got here within the past little bit, this is a Q&A. You can queue. We will please tag us in the live chat. Just if you type @ and loving, it should pop up and you should be able to like tap or click or whatever. And don't spam the chat if we don't answer fast enough, and nothing that requires a lot of context or backstory. You can always email us those questions. So yeah, feel free. Ask us anything about us or kink or your own kink situation. Whatever works. Yeah.
What?
I thought you like made a gesture that I was supposed to know what that meant.
No.
Oh. What did you do then? Did you like scratch your
scratch my nose?
I thought you were doing a baseball signal
thing.
I was
Carol Burnett.
I was so confused. I was so confused. Well, we've hit the loopy part of the night. Great. So what's been going on with you?
I don't know.
Me neither. Mr. Spock asks, how goes the trying to figure out kinky fuckery times with a child at home now? It goes not at all, because we haven't figured it out.
We haven't figured it out.
I made a suggestion.
You did.
But I'm not in charge of that.
You did. And, yeah, we went from a nice, pleasant spring to, in one day, Florida summer.
Yeah, so my suggestion was we just use the shop out back. And we've done it before. Fairly, it's not recently because I don't have any sense of time, but within the last several weeks, you did call me out there, and next thing I know, I was getting my ass wailed on. It was delightful. While people our next door neighbors were working in the backyard, so I had to be quiet. Yeah, I made that suggestion that's what we do, and then within a very short amount of time, it's hot as shit out there now. So, the thing that I also come back to is I have had to, over the years, learn or relearn how to be very quiet with all things, because, like, even sex or just orgasm play doesn't even have to be, we're getting it on. I can't scream the way I want because there's always somebody a little too close. So I am more used to being quiet. Impact play, at least with paddles and your hand and stuff, is not very quiet. My thing that I keep kind of angling towards, and when I have conversations with other people who ask about this, it's like, okay, find the quiet things to do. So wax play is quiet as long as it's quiet as long as the bottom or the submissive is not screaming their full head off. Okay, so wax play is quiet. We talked about this over the cupping would be quiet.
Cupping would be quiet.
All the toys I hate that we sell, they're quiet. Canes and evil sticks and diabolical sticks, they are very quiet. I am the loud one. It's been ages since we've talked about it. We have talked about it in the past. You were taught how to do punching as impact play.
Yes.
Ooh, you want to talk about deep tissue massage? That is delightful. It knocks the breath out of me every time, and I love it. I know I am okay with all of those things. Here is my sneaking suspicion about why you do not jump on that. That is not satisfying to you. You want the screams, you want the noise, you want the big reactions, and if we're being quiet...
There's none of that.
There's none of that.
Yeah, you pretty much hit the nail on the head with that.
It's almost like I know things.
I mean, I enjoy the wax play and stuff like that, and even rope is quiet.
Oh, yeah, for sure,
okay? And I don't mind those things, but, you know, I also want the...
I think it's about finding balance. I think that most of the time we're probably going to try and do something inside. Those things will have to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Then we make a conscious effort to go and grab 10, 15 minutes to do something loud out in the shop or whatever. And I think that's it. I know I struggle with this, and I just don't think I'm alone at all. My brain goes, what good could 10, 15 minutes be? It won't be enough. It can absolutely be enough.
Sure.
If you can snatch 5, 10, 15 minutes here and there, I think it adds up. You know, quite frankly, when you're going in hard on me, I couldn't last 15 minutes with a paddle anyway. So... Yeah, Mr. Spock, I do kink and no things. I wish that shirt still fit.
Yeah.
But
Wish any of those shirts fit.
I know, right? Yeah, Silent, I agree. Being quiet does take concentration. I was just thinking about this the other day. My orgasms are better when I can just scream. Yeah. So while I have orgasms, and many times I'm satisfied at the end, they are never as good as the ones I can have when I can scream my damn head off. So.
Yeah.
But.
We'll see. Then do like be honor bondage. You know, like saying you can't make any noise.
I think that could be considered a form. I mean, honor bondage is usually about movement and holding your body in a position, but why not? Your vocal cords, part of your body. You've got to keep them still. Yeah, I am... every time I think I have adjusted to this homeschool mom life, something else happens and I'm like, nope, haven't adjusted. This sucks. The kid is happy. Well, he's mostly happy. His grades are so much fucking better.
Yeah.
He's actually retaining more information than he realizes he is. Partly because the way I help him, and it's not because I know what the hell I'm doing, I don't have a fucking clue, but because it's one-on-one, I'm taking the time to explain it in the way that I understand it, or helping him research in the right way to where he can get an answer he understands. But this is a kid with chronic conditions and flare-ups that knock everything off kilter. His sleep is so off what would be considered typical. And then I learned that, neurodivergent people in general, definitely autistic kids, tend to really struggle with sleep. And I'm like, that's what I'm looking at. One day he sleeps 2 hours, one day he sleeps 6 hours, then we get 3 or 4 days he sleeps 12 hours a night, and then the cycle seems to repeat. And so trying to keep up with schooling when the online school has requirements you have to meet on their timeline, I'm like, this is not helpful. Ugh. So, yeah, no, so then even thinking about fuckery is like, every day is different. I'm not in a routine. He's not in a routine. JB's not. Nobody's in a routine.
No.
And nobody is settled and calm. Like, just.
Yeah, no routine. And I think that's kind of what has thrown me off. That has me in a bit of a tiz. You know, because we don't have a routine like we used to.
Yeah. I know. But, and I will be shocked if this child leaves home to go to college.
Yeah.
And I'll be okay if he doesn't, but that does, I mean, there's a benefit to that. We can travel. We
can go places, and he can stay home, take care of the house and the fur babies.
Exactly. We're not mad about that part. But it does mean that, it could be a lot more. The oldest spoiled us. The oldest one, I'm 18. I'm outie. Y'all have a nice life. I'll come home every once in a while, but I want to be on my own. Okay, fine. The youngest isn't like that, and it's okay that he's not like that. It just means that getting that, like, quiet time. I think he's probably going to do online school the whole way through, if he can. And I'm fine with it, you know. So, but I try not to think about how many years that is.
I know.
Before,
Yeah.
like, he's not even started high school yet. So we're talking, what, 8 years minimum?
Mm-hmm.
So, but, yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Kim, exactly. Online school, but I can't get my kink on. Yep.
Yep.
I did offer.
Online school blocked.
I know, right? I did offer because I thought it would help him with sensory stuff and overstimulation, and he rejected it. I did offer to get him those like noise canceling earbud things that don't necessarily play music. They just kind of like block out the sound for you. I was like, oh, that could benefit everybody. He did not want this.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, and I think that's why, you know, at first it kind of made me, when I saw people walking around with headphones. Mm-hmm. I was kind of like, what the? But then I found out that a lot of neurodivergent people who are sound sensitive will put them on. They're noise canceling. They're not necessarily listening to anything, but it
and they might be, but yeah,
cuts
they're not
down.
necessarily. Here's what's funny. I would have told you with a straight ass fucking face that I'm not overstimulated by too much noise, except on there's certain times, like, man, when I can hear the light switches buzzing, it drives me fucking crazy. But then I finally started getting consistent about wearing the noise canceling ear cup, whatever, when we're working in the shop, when all the machinery's going, because I realized I don't want to buy a second pair of hearing aids for me.
No.
And it dulls and mutes the noise. I get lost in my own little world. I can think thoughts. I can just, like, through to completion, I could sing whole songs in my head. It is so peaceful. So fucking peaceful.
With none of the outside stimulus, huh?
Oh my God. I'm like, wow. Part of it, I've just been a parent for too damn long. I don't like when in parenting mode, I don't like to have the noise blocked too much, because then I think I might miss something. But man, when we're in the shop, I'll happily cancel out all that noise. So, Kim, that's hilarious. Trust us, take the headphones with you. Yeah. I wish we had a downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh wow, silent.
Okay.
If I'm focused, I don't hear shit. But when I am not focused, oh God, the refrigerator, the light switches in the kitchen, that dimmer in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'll be bending over to pick up like the cat's food bowls or whatever, and I'm like, what? And it's
I know it's become kind of a joke, because both the youngest and this one will be like, do you hear the refrigerator? Do you hear the noise the refrigerator is making?
And he is wearing his hearing aids at the appropriate level, so conceively he could hear it too.
I'm like, no. I don't hear anything.
No. Yeah, I mean, right now I can hear the obvious sounds. The fan's going.
The fan's running, yeah.
I can hear the ceiling fans, even though they're fairly quiet. They're not going full blast.
Sometimes I hear the fans, sometimes not. Those are, you know.
Yeah, the thing I hear from the ceiling fan is not the whoosh of the blades. It's something like a wire or something jiggling inside. I can hear. Not always. Not always. And yet, there are times I cannot hear you calling my name. Just out of it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. I had hoped
No.
that we would be at a point, we are not, and I can only hope that one day we will get there, where we can go and like grab a night away at a hotel.
I know.
You know, stuff
I
like
know.
that.
Yeah.
Even if we don't go out of town, the kid will be old enough at that point to be like,
Yeah.
take care of the dog and the cats. We'll
head-
see you tomorrow.
Just head to downtown Ocala and,
Right.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, get away for the night.
yeah.
I mean, I wear noise-canceling earbuds in the shop.
To protect what's left of your hearing.
Protect what's left of my hearing as much as I can. And, you know, but I listen to music while I'm...
We know. The neighbors on either side know.
Probably know, yeah.
Pretty sure our across the street neighbors know. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made sure the internet knew. Don't worry.
I know.
Yeah, silent. I think it would be that's another part of our, I don't want to say problem, but like part of the where we're stuck is we have not had the ability to get away overnight since 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, because
easily.
Evil stepfather kicked us off the property.
Right.
We were reeling from all that. Didn't really have any place that we wanted to go for the rest of the year. Early 2020, COVID is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
We wouldn't have gone anywhere anyway. Then when we can start going anywhere, we don't have the fucking money for it. So it's like
that's when all our
travails
started
began.
happening. Yeah.
So it's like I think that that's also a good part of it.
Yeah.
So, Sin asked, but does he have good taste in music? I mean, mostly there's some stuff I'm like, that's not my jam. But
Yeah.
a lot of it I recognize and I enjoy.
I mean, mostly I'm a big classic rock listener. I've become a fan of Lindsey Sterling, the Bond Quartet, Caitlin DeVille,
So can I tell you something?
and Powerwolf.
Can I tell you something? Because I was hoping I could make it work, and then it would be a surprise, and there's no way I'm going to be able to make it work, so I'm just going to tell you. Lindsey Sterling is coming to Orlando.
I know.
I got on her fucking list because I was going to do that like I did
Oh.
with Whatchadiggy. And the prices are perfectly reasonable. They're not awful, but I was like, there's no way.
Yeah,
Between that
I
and
know.
parking, there's no
I
way.
know. I
So
know.
just know
Well-
that if I could, I would.
Well, the funny thing is, I discovered her, came across her, I should say, years ago when she just started doing a few YouTube videos. And from that, you know, she started doing some of her own music on YouTube, and then all of a sudden, you know, now she's a star.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I have not found anything ASMR that does not make me, like, my whole body just cringe. Anything where it's a whisper or their mouth is really close to a microphone, I can hear the spit. Even when they're probably a professional and know how to not have a spitty sound. All I hear is a spitty sound. And whispers, if it feels like it's too close to my ear, that is very overstimulating to me. I hate it. The youngest will to fuck with me, he'll get real close to my ear and he'll like breathe, he'll huff, he'll whisper, and I have to twitch and go, get the fuck away from me. I love you so much, baby. Get away from me. Eva asked, doesn't the youngest go to grandma in the summer? He has not been. I've got to talk to him about that. I forgot. His grandmother did ask if he wanted to come stay for a week. I think we originally thought it might be April. Now maybe early May. My mother and evil stepfather have a whole hay thing that they do, and it consumes their life for a few months out of the year. So it's a business; they make money at it, but whatever. but he has not been enthusiastic about it.
No.
My mom was hilarious when she made the offer for this year. It was in January, February, when there was just a lot going on. I was very stressed out. I was very worried. And she goes, I think he needs a break. She was like, but I think you need a break too. And I'm like, I do need a break. Please do not tease me with the idea of a break. But
threaten you with a good time, right?
God. I mean, when she made the offer, I turned to JB and went, can you imagine a week with not a single child in this house? I mean, we haven't experienced it in literal years.
Yeah.
But he is not enthusiastic about it, but I am not above bribery.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think if it was just your mom.
Oh, I think
I think he would go in a heartbeat.
My mother is one of his favorite humans on the planet.
Yeah. I think he has his own little things with evil stepdad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, people eating foods for ASMR? Nope.
No.
I have to remind myself when I don't do what I need to do to not hear chewing sounds in our own house. I have to remind myself that I love JB, and I will love him when breakfast is over. I just have to block out the sound of him chewing. No, I can't deal with that. I cannot deal with that.
I love you. I love you so much.
I know, and see, I purposely don't say anything. I mean, in the beginning, I used to go, "Oh my god," and then I learned some self-control, and I don't, because he's just existing. Like, it's a me problem. It's not a him problem. And you know what's funny? I think the youngest has figured that out. He does not like chewing sounds either. And every once in a while, we'll be all around the table together eating, and he'll cut me a look, and I'll cut him a look, and we just kind of, you could see our jaws like tense. And I'm proud of him for not making his issue with the sound of chewing your problem. Because it's not like we could be like, just never chew again. Like, that's not an option. But
unless you blend all my food, yeah.
no, because the slurpy sound from a straw is as bad, if not worse, than chewy sounds. The only meal where we make a concerted effort to not, where the rule is, if we're all around the table, nobody's got devices up, at least until we're done eating. Breakfast and lunch, that's, you can have your device. So am I watching reels or YouTube videos? Most of the time, yes. Or trying to read a book that I'm so sucked into, I forget everything around me, and that's all I can focus on. Yes.
Yeah. Breakfast breakfast and lunch, I have my tablet and I'm reading a book, and that's what I do. But yeah, during dinner, we're at the table, we're all eating a meal together, and there's no technology. And
so what I try to do is to time when I'm speaking with while JB is chewing, and for me to chew while he's speaking. I don't always get it right. Sometimes I just have to like clench my jaw and make it through the chewing sounds with this little internal whisper of, you love him, this is not forever, you love him. That's like, no, I hate that sound. But yeah. When we used to go out to eat more often, that was great, because it's always tons of background noise, and I would not hear it. Like, I'd be listening to the table behind us conversation, or everybody be dropping forks left, right, and center, and I was like, I don't hear shit. It was great. Yeah, silent something. Maybe we should start playing like music. Like setting an ambiance situation. Yeah. Put on a TV show. But that's just a screen. It does kill
I could
the whole...
put Spotify up through the TV.
You could. Can you play it loud enough?
Stop.
And then, of course, well, no, the 14-year-old likes a lot of the music you like.
Yeah.
He was corrupted at just the right age with our classic rock preferences. So, Jenny. high quality and relatable content I subscribe for. Oh, good. Your vibe attracts your tribe, they say.
Right.
Oh, God. Lord. I've lost it. I got nothing.
So, I mean, yeah, we could sit down and create a eating dinner playlist.
A dinner playlist.
Yeah.
Drowning out the sound of chewing playlist. You know what? I'll bet if we search, somebody has made that playlist on Spotify. Somebody has. But then, if we pick songs with lyrics and I know said lyrics or learn said lyrics, you might have to endure the sound of my singing. Which the 14-year-old will not allow. That is, that's a sound he can't stand.
now I have to see if it is a thing.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, it's funny. We were cutting expenses everywhere we could, and we're cutting out things that were like, do we even use this? Can we go without this? Whatever. And the one thing, JB was so good. He was like, we do what we have to do. And I'm like, I'm not cutting off your Spotify. Like, none of us could live with you if you had to get your songs interrupted with a commercial on Spotify.
Okay. So, no, there is not.
There should be.
There is not. Now, there is one to drown out the noise. Just says drown out the noise.
Oh, no.
But as far as specifically chewing,
Drown out chewing noises.
Yeah,
we need to have that.
music to drown out the noise. Music to drown the world out. Music helps drown out the noise.
Oh, the people of the world. We all have, I think, a similar issue, and we just don't even know it. Oh, God. Now, what is ironic in all of this, when I was younger, and not that much younger, but certainly when I still worked in an office, so still in my 20s, very early 30s, I was a very loud chewer. Like, no sense of people around me. Potato chips, we were all gonna listen to me crunch those potato chips. Ice cubes, I used to eat ice cubes. My mother spent most of my childhood, once I had functioning teeth, terrified for me because I could not stop eating ice cubes. And then I learned that needing and wanting something that crunches can be a STEM kind of thing, and I was like, oh yeah. And I don't eat ice cubes anymore, and it makes me sad.
Don't.
I love
You used to. You used to.
Oh my God, I probably wouldn't eat potato chips so fucking much if I ate more ice. I never did convince JB to let us buy the special ice maker that makes the good ice.
Nope.
Maybe I can ask for that for Christmas for my mother. We're slowly transitioning all of our small appliances to Ninja. One Christmas present for my mother at a time. She always wants to do like a Christmas gift for the family. And I'm like, I need this Ninja appliance,
Right.
Mom.
Well, first we got the processor.
Food processor, yep.
Food
No, we
processor.
bought that for ourselves.
Did we?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, still, we got the food processor.
We did get the food processor, yep.
Then came the air fryer.
Yes.
Yeah, that has been, oh my gosh,
If
the air
we-
fryer is amazing.
Oh my God, I know. We use it all the time.
Yeah.
Cleaning it is the bane of my fucking existence, but we do use it all the time.
Yeah.
If we don't buy it for ourselves first, which means, man, things are looking good if we can. If by the holidays we still don't have it, then the next thing I'm going to ask for is the Ninja blender system that has like the smoothie thing and the blah, 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 that whole thing. That's the next thing. And then eventually, if I don't buy it for myself, and let me say again, if I can buy it for myself, life has gotten much better. I want the Ninja Creamy. Because I don't, the dairy-free ice creams, most of them are expensive, or I don't like the flavor. Lactose-free ice cream is either expensive or hard to fucking find. Let me just make my own fucking ice cream with lactose-free milk. Thank you very much.
And the last thing we got was just this past Christmas was the coffee maker.
Yes, that was
Ninja
the other
coffee
one.
maker.
Yeah.
That has been fucking amazing.
That was the thing she got us this year.
And I
Air fryer was
when
last
we
year.
got that, and I kind of figured out how it worked and what all it can do, is like, why did we have a Keurig for so long?
I know, right? I know.
You know?
Yeah, DS Bunny, I hate cleaning the air fryer. I mean, eventually I have to, but I will go as long as I can without, like, breeding bacteria in it. Or gluing something to the side because it got cooked on too many days. I hate cleaning the air fryer. But the Ninja, the one we got is the dual. So I got 2 sections so I can cook 2 different things at the same time. It does, it can skew your cook time or temperature, but I've adjusted for that easily when I have to do it. But yeah. So. Oh, is the creamy almost reasonable? I'd heard they were very expensive, but I knew that was when I think they were still new. And of course, Instagram keeps trying to teach me all these amazing ice creams I could make.
You can make with it, yeah.
Here's where I'm at with my ice cream situation. I got a craving several days ago for root beer floats, and I remembered that at Walmart you can get lactose-free Breyer's vanilla ice cream, and it's fairly reasonable price. It's like $4.50 for the container. So I was like, hey, why don't we do that? Let's get some root beer and let's get some vanilla ice cream. And we did. We had root beer floats, all 3 of us, twice this past week. And then it was all gone. So no more. But we were at Walmart and I go and I find the lactose-free vanilla. And vanilla is not my favorite flavor. It's just what I can usually find for not too expensive. And for the first time since I started eating lactose-free ice cream, next to the vanilla was chocolate. And I was like, okay, when we're done with the vanilla, can we come back and get the chocolate? I have not had chocolate ice cream in years. And chocolate used to be my favorite. My favorite combo when I used to be able to, like, go buy ice cream from actual ice cream places is peanut butter. It's chocolate and peanut butter. Chocolate ice cream with, like, peanut butter in it. Oh, my God, it's so good. Oh, my God, so good.
So it looks like it starts at about 150.
What starts at 150?
The creamy.
Okay. And by the time we get around to maybe getting one, it might be even lower. And my mother can always find a bargain and a deal. So. Oh, Eva, I still remember life before when I was a kid before we got a microwave, and now I cannot imagine it. Quite frankly, though, a lot of times it mostly just stores baked goods that we don't want to put in the fridge. Like, I made chocolate chip cookies. I stored them in a Ziploc bag and then put the Ziploc bag in the microwave. Nellie says is it Yonana's machine? It's pretty reasonable for making at-home ice cream. Easy to clean, too. Just use frozen bananas and add fixings. Okay. Yes, DS Bunny, I agree. Yeah. All these does have reasonable prices,
We've gotten some there. They haven't had any now. They're starting to get it back now for the summer, yeah.
The kind we found that were, like, dairy-free, I did not love them. And then the really interesting flavors I would have killed to try.
But they're not, yeah.
They were dairy. Yeah. And dairy is fine. It's the lactose I can't do. Yeah, JB got, over the holidays, a pint of ice cream that was like hot chocolate or something. Yeah. It was $1.50 for a pint of ice cream. Thank you, Aldi.
And it was good. It was tasty.
Nope, lose my your family's not the only one.
Happens here all the time.
Well, one, it's I'm getting it out of even more air is how I justified in my mind. 2, I'm keeping it away from cats who, in the middle of the night, one particular little miss will chew through plastic bags to get to whatever.
Yeah.
So
left a loaf of bread sitting out on the counter one night, and got up the next morning and she chewed through the plastic and several slices of bread.
Yep. She does. One time, that's happened a couple times since we've had Onyx. One time, though, she pulled out a piece of bread and took off with it. Yeah. Found it later.
Weeks later, and it was like
dried
hard.
Up.
Yeah, dried up and hard. Yeah.
Oh, Onyx can get up on top of the fridge.
That cat can get on top of anywhere she wants. The getting on top of the fridge is a piece of cake for her.
Oh, yeah. We have some of the bread lives in the fridge, and then JB has like kind of nice bread, and it stays in the cupboard, and he eats it so fast it's fine. Indigo Falcon asks, can you talk about things you can do when you and your partner aren't in the same place mentally right now, but you're willing to wait? I can take care of myself physically, but I miss kink. Oh. The reason I struggle to answer this is because we have not figured it out either. There have been, and there continue to be, times when we are not in the same place mentally, and poor JB, it was you for a long time. It was him. He was ready to get his kink on. He was ready to like have sex. He was ready to do all kinds of stuff, and I was going, oh yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. But then by the time I was starting to kind of come back to it a little bit, he was going through his own thing. Now, what I recall,
like two ships passing in the kink night. Yeah.
Now, one thing that you started doing when this began for us, when we started like just not being on the same page, that is when you started going to more workshops, demos, munches, just by yourself. You were like, okay, I want to experience kink in the way that I can. Let me go be among the people.
Right.
That was also when you started your sex toy collection. He now officially has more sex toys than I do. So those are probably the kind of things that I would suggest. It's based on what you would want to do anyway, or what you like to do, or they're interested in doing. The biggest thing though is just keeping the lines of communication open, because there can be a lot of guilt that one or more both of you might feel at any given time about that. I do think that a lot of people, I include us in this, overlook what I was talking about earlier, grabbing 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, the opportunity when you can.
Right. So if there's a moment when all of the stars align, even if it's just 10 minutes where you're both like, hey, we could do the thing, 10 minutes is enough. It's not enough because most of us want more, but when you're not getting it at all, 10 minutes can be enough. It can carry you through however long you need to wait. And then the other thing is to make sure in the ways that are accessible to you and that are right for you and your partner, that whatever mental space you're in that is not allowing for fuckery or sex or whatever it might be, that you're working on that or you're cognizant of that. So like with me, it started in 2018 is when I went to therapy for the first time. I now think that I hit perimenopause and my brain went completely off the rails is what I think happened. Therapy was helpful for me, but dealing with my perimenopause probably would have been better. Not that anybody believed that I was in perimenopause at the time, but that's a whole other conversation. With JB, when we were switching, so to speak, and I was getting back to where I was like, hey, let's do the thing. And he was like, no, thank you. He was deep in depression, realizing for very valid reasons, it's been a stressful few years. But then he started working on that to get himself, to figure himself out, not to quote fix anything, but just to figure out what he could do and what his options were. So to whatever extent
Night Bunny,
what's going on with y'all, make sure you're not ignoring it, whatever it might be, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So. But hopefully that is helpful.
And Silent, I didn't ask for that many toys. I didn't buy that many toys.
I got him roped into one of my writing gigs, and then he just...
Twice.
I know. Do you still, though, have fleshlights that never got opened?
Yeah.
I have a couple of toys that never got opened. We should do, like, a for real giveaway. Like a good sex toy giveaway. I don't know when that'll be. Don't anybody get your hopes up, but we should. I'm still trying to sort out what I want to do with... I've got barely used sex toys that I don't want because they're not right for me. Barely used, meaning tried them once, done. But they're like vibrators that I can't dunk them in boiling water to fully sterilize them. I can sterilize them to a point, or I can clean them to a point, but I can't guarantee anything. And I'm like, what the fuck can I do with them? I have considered selling them for like minimal amount and making sure like shipping was included in that. But then I don't know that. I'm like, who would I sell that to, and where would I list that? Because I don't want to create a whole new fucking site, nor do I want to put it through the Kinkery. But also, if I start getting a whole bunch of PayPal payments, PayPal's going to be like, oh, what you doing over there?
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do.
Best toy? I would have to say probably right now, and I can't think of what it's called, but it's a fleshlight, but it's a shorty. It's not the big.
Yeah, it's the quick shot.
Quick shot.
You
Thank
really
you.
like the quick
Yeah.
shot. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I saw, hold on. That lady geek said, I want more WeVibe products. Yes, WeVibe is so good. The one that I have that is completely like still in the plastic, never got unboxed because it was a duplicate for us. We have the WeVibe chorus still. Yeah, we still have that.
Yeah.
I fucking love the chorus. I've had people try to, and maybe they can do it, that, oh, you can, you know, it's penetrative and you can use it on your own. I cannot. If there's not something else in me while the chorus is in me, the G-spot part don't do nothing, and the clit part is not strong enough. But as a penetrative sex toy, thing's fucking amazing. I have some vibrators that I was just sent, like, to me randomly from, am I gonna say it right? Is it Bellessa? Is it Bellessa? Am I saying them right? I was doing a review through the site I used to write for, and so that company was one of the brands we were going to review, and so they were supposed to send a product. They sent 4 products. I was like, I didn't ask for these, and I don't want these, and what the fuck's happening? And they were not things I was intrigued by. I was like, that's not going to work for me.
Night, Eva.
So I also have those, but. I would like to get to the point of perimenopause where I could understand being a cougar. I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there.
No, you're not.
But yeah.
But yeah, I want to go through and purge some of that.
I know. I've got
So
so many
much.
things that I just don't care about. Like, I
Yeah.
tried them for, you know, the site, had to give it a honest shot.
Yeah.
Knew that looking at it, it was not going to interest me, but still had to say I tried it.
Yeah.
But now I'm like stuck.
Yep.
Fingers crossed. Okay. I'm still not sure I'm on the right level of estrogen and testosterone, because all the things I keep being told that those things can do for me, they're not
Doesn't
doing
seem
it
like
for
it's
me.
doing anything. Yeah, no.
But, and I know I just need to talk to my doctor again, but the last time I was like, hey, this dose doesn't seem to be working. Her suggestion was to take a medication break.
Yeah.
And then I was miserable for 3 or 4 months.
Oh,
so
God.
apparently we were all miserable for 3 or 4
my
months.
God.
Was it really that bad?
Yeah.
What, I mean, real talk, be honest, what was the bad part?
I think the worst part was when you were on the
HRT.
HRT,
The first time, you
the
mean?
first time,
Okay.
while it did not totally do away with your hot flashes,
Yeah,
it minimized them.
it did.
Okay,
They were still there and annoying.
They were
but,
still there, but they were
like they
were,
are now.
They were very minimized. When you came off the medication, it was like they came back with a vengeance, and you were just miserable.
So I was aware of that. I thought you were gonna say something about my attitude or my mood. Have you not noticed any shift one way or the other?
You're a Scorpio bitch from hell, so you're always like that.
Look.
So I don't,
As advertised on the tin, okay?
Yeah.
Not in small fine print. I put it big bold print. You married me anyway. This is your own fault.
So, but no, I just felt bad because of the way the hot flashes came back on you.
Oh, Mr. Spock, thank you. I have never heard of those before. And that's a good question, Silent. I was about to, well, when I get to my phone, I was about to do a Google. And is that going to be safe for silicone? I mean, I can imagine it should be, but I just should check. And if one cannot just buy them, can somebody know somebody who can get them, and then maybe they can send them to a bitch and she will use them? I'm just saying. Yeah, sometimes I miss the sex toy review situation because, man, when you find a good toy, it's like hot damn. But I went through way too many times of trying total duds for me.
Yeah. I enjoyed it when we did it.
It just became overwhelming.
Yes.
Which, look, I understand the privilege of being able to say, oh my God, we've been sent too many sex toys. But there comes a point where it was actually wasteful. I'm like, you've just sent me 8 of these vibrators, and in 2 weeks you're going to send me 8 more. I don't even want them, let alone have some, like, quote, deserve them. Like, this is overkill.
Yeah.
This is overkill. Now, what the site that was doing the reviews...
Which is why I have 3 boxes of fleshlights in the closet.
And the thing is what the site that I was writing for was trying to do was admirable. They wanted to do legit reviews. This was not a pay-for-play kind of situation. They were like, y'all are going to put these on your genitals, and then you're going to tell us about them. And we're going to compare all of the ones. But it was overwhelming. To get to a point where you're like, oh my God, there's another sex toy.
I have to
in
do
a box.
this again?
That's not fun.
No.
That's just not fun.
No.
So... No, I miss the days when I was like, I was writing enough on my own personal blog that a company might be like, hey, let me tell you how far I've fallen. I don't know. Maybe that's not it. Hot Octopus redid the Queen Bee.
Really?
It looks beautiful. People I trust fucking love it. I wasn't even on their radar for getting one to review. But I'm also not writing reviews. I'm not posting to my blog. So I get it, but I'm also sad. I'm also sad. And yet, I'm not sad enough to, like, revitalize the blog. And I know why that is.
Yeah.
Evil stepdad.
I know.
So, there's about 20 minutes left. If anybody has, like, shown up and has been here the whole time, there is a Q&A technically going on. We're just chit-chatting in between. So if you'd like to ask a question, just please tag us in the live chat. Please don't spam the chat. And make sure it's not a question that requires backstory or context to understand. Or more than a message's worth, a live chat message's worth of context. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that. Yep. Excuse me.
Yeah. It's funny. There's a part of me that misses reviewing kink toys too. Mostly because I like to know what's out there and what's any good. But also reviewing products, it's an obligation, and I hate feeling that. That'll make me not want to get kinky or sexy in a fucking heartbeat. So That Lady Geek asks for, may I make a request for a comparison photo of one of all of the paddles next to each other? Like every paddle we sell on the Kinkery is... We probably could do that.
Yeah.
There is a post. I did it on our Twitter and our Facebook. I don't think I posted it to Instagram because I did it as a video on Instagram, where I did put 4 of what I consider are unique paddles kind of in a grid together, or not. No, on FetLife I did it in a grid. On Twitter and on Facebook it's just different images. That is available. But yeah, but maybe that's something we could do. SB says, do either of you have experience with appearance control? Do you mean where, like, the dom dictates what their partner looks like, dress or like hair color or body
makeup,
size,
etc. Yeah.
I don't know enough about. I can tell you I don't know enough about it to even know if that's all separate things or if that's all part of like one thing. We have never really
done.
engaged with that. The closest we
No.
get is you might pick out an outfit you want me to wear, or you'll pick out panties
Correct.
you want me to wear.
Mhm.
But that nobody else but him is going to see that, so that
Yeah.
wouldn't count towards appearance. But you've never dictated hair or makeup, thank God,
No.
because he'd be very disappointed and I'd be in the corner all the time. So maybe if somebody would like to share in the live chat if they have some experience with
Yeah.
it, that would be
Yeah.
that would be great. X says, maybe this is a question for you, JB. Any advice for a guy who has no problem getting it up but has trouble getting there?
Mm-hmm.
It takes a while.
Yeah. Advice, I don't know what to tell you there. I have that happen.
You'll just stop. You'll be like, okay.
And I'll
I'm
just get to a
done.
point, I'll just stop. You know, it does not really always matter to me if I finish. When I'm mostly going for her pleasure.
Yeah, and if I'm just like, if I kind of stop making a lot of noise and I'm like zoned out, it's been too long. I am done.
So, you know, as far as a way to get to the finish line, I don't honestly know.
No, because the tricks I know about are to extend that more than anything.
And, you know, like I say, the first time it happened when we were together, you were just like...
I never had that. I never had
Yeah.
penetrative sex with a person with a penis, and that penis did not ejaculate somewhere. And I was like, are you okay? Am I okay?
Yeah.
Are we okay? Like, I was a moment where I did not understand anything that was happening to me.
She was more upset about it than I was.
Well, and here's what's funny. I, as a person who does not like body fluids or having to clean them up off of myself, once you and I had the conversation about you were fine, you were not unhappy, you were done now.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind it if he does not orgasm and ejaculate during sex.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, let's to clean up. Okay, I'm okay with this. But as for like, yeah. I don't. I know there are probably things out there, but the things that come to my mind are all things that are going to help get you hard and keep you there, and are like cock rings. They're part of their purpose is sensation for the person wearing them, but it is also like to make it so you don't get off right away.
Right. So yeah, I honestly don't know.
Is there part of what you're doing intimately where you can, together or just yourself, however, stimulate your body so that by the time there's penetration, you're closer than you would have been, like hand jobs, blow jobs? That's a thing we do a lot now because I love giving a blow job. I hate him coming in my mouth. I hate that because I don't like the taste. I'm not going to spit because we do not have spittoons in the bedroom, but I don't want to swallow. It's a body fluid thing.
Yeah.
So that is a thing we often do is we'll start, you're fucking my mouth. And then when you hit whatever your point is, then it's into penetrative sex.
Then it's game on.
Right. And then it doesn't take very long comparatively. That's very subjective. So, the other thing would be to add, if this does anything for you, to add extra stimulation. So even if it's not being used by both of you, like vibrations, that could be an option. If that, like, it's whatever gets you worked up and ready to, but yeah. Yes, Silent. I mean, I have gone through the whole change your diet, it'll change flavor. It will. It's still Like, it still does not taste like a Diet Coke or, lemon custard. I mean, if it did taste like lemon custard, we're going to go to the doctor right then, straight to the ER. But, you know what I mean? Like, it's not pleasant. Even when the flavor can adjust based on diet, it's not pleasant. I don't like it. I think it also doesn't help that it comes out body temperature, and then it's just something warm in my mouth. And I just can't. I know there's so many people who get off on it, and they find it so sexy and so erotic, and I'm over here going, no! But I want to, like, just lavish your junk with I'll worship that thing. Oh God, yeah. I love to suck a dick. It's not allowed to come in me. It's not allowed to come in my mouth. It's not. Thank you, X, for doing the experiment to find out, though. Yeah. I appreciate that. But
what if I dipped it in Diet Coke?
Could you handle the bubbles?
Probably
You
not.
have no pain tolerance, and I don't know what carbonation would do to your coffee. I'm just saying. Hey, Christy. No, I mean, for years I was a swallow girl. Like, I guarded penis and vagina sex. Like, I don't know what, like this. Like, my cooch was Fort Knox or something. I don't know. But, man, I'd do a blowjob. Here we go. I hated hand jobs. My arm always hurts. But, so, I was not confident enough or even understood myself enough to be able to go, look, I'll suck it. But you got to find some place to put the output here. You're not coming in my mouth. Couldn't do it. And I derive so much validation from guys who did not deserve even 1 second of my fucking time. That of course I was going to swallow. I hated it. But I also didn't know why I hated it. And it's mostly a sensory thing. That the flavor, the feel of it in my mouth, I've nearly choked way too many fucking times. And I like to be able to breathe. So no. I'm just glad that you don't care. You're like, whatever. So. But. Hey, Andre.
Hey, evening. Welcome.
But I also don't like to have, like, I'm not going to play the come on my skin thing either. Yeah. Oh, God, that's worse. Somehow that's worse to me. No, I can't. Part of it is coming out hot or warm. Nope, that don't feel right. I don't find ejaculate appealing to look at. I watched, what was that movie in the late 90s? Had Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz, and she used to come and did her hair. Do you remember that?
No.
Somebody remembers that movie.
No.
That movie traumatized me. He jacked off before the date so he wouldn't be like too whatever, and then he couldn't find where the ejaculate went, and it apparently was hanging from his ear, and she went, "Oh, you have hair gel." I watched that movie in the theater. It is a formative experience. There's something about Mary. Is that what it's called? I cannot remember it. Anyway. So, no. Oh, I don't. Thank you.
Something about Mary.
When I was younger, I fucking loved that movie. I don't know if it's aged well. I almost probably hasn't. That kind of humor doesn't usually age well. I wouldn't rewatch it because I don't want to be disappointed. Mm-hmm. But I think I went to see that movie with my mother. We did not know that part was coming up.
Nah.
So, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I loved that movie when I watched it at the time. That part has stuck with me my whole life since I watched it. Anyway, no, I don't like it on my skin. Like, I get into the idea of, for some people it's degradation, for some people it's something else, but that whole having somebody come on your body, like, I get the idea behind it, and the idea behind it, I'm like, I could see that being hot, but then I think about it actually touching me, and I do a little full body shudder, and then I cannot. See, silent, that's how I knew now that then I didn't know enough about sex because I was not asking myself probably
right
common
questions.
sense questions like, how did you mistake that for hair gel? How did he lose it completely? How did he not feel it hanging off his ear? Like all those questions that somebody who would have known even a little something might have asked. I was not. I've never watched Hangover. I think when the revival of those kinds of movies with that kind of humor, I was just at a different point in life. I just don't find it appealing, but so I do remember watching American Pie and what was done to that poor pie. Oh my god. Oh my god. But the thing that sticks out to me is I can't remember the character's name. I don't remember any of that. And one time at band camp, here's why it sticks out to me. Because that wasn't a fucking lie, okay? Band kids, oh my god, are sex-crazed kids. And I did some shady shit at band camp and on many a bus going to and from an event. But yeah, and one time at band camp, that is accurate. Yeah, no. No. Yeah, I'm at a point now that I don't like looking at it on people. Well, I don't know. It's been so long since I've had the opportunity or taken the opportunity to look at it. I don't know how I feel about it now, but there was a time I did not like to look at it. But I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So most of the time at band camp, because band teachers are former band kids and they know what teenagers are getting up to, they didn't give you a lot of opportunity to slip away or whatever. And, you know, my band camps were all on campus at whatever school I was going to. And so during the summer, a lot of those places are locked up or inaccessible. That did not stop us at fucking all, okay? You could absolutely sneak away into like the band locker room while everybody else is doing something else and you got like 5 minutes. Or somebody would always find an unlocked door somewhere. Did some shit, man. And then the 18-year-old would try and tell me that nothing was going on. I'm like, dude, former band kid.
Right.
I know you're up to shit. Just be safe about it, okay? Call me if you need me. So. Yeah. Looking at Silent's comment about X's strong exhibition and voyeur tendency, I miss my exhibitionist side, but my exhibitionism gives me confidence, but it tends to come from a place of confidence, not confidence because I feel like I look sexy or whatever. I don't think I'm sure there have been times in my life I have felt that, but maybe like I could count them on one hand. It's more of a confidence in the thing I'm doing, or I've gotten enough positive reactions that it keeps me going. I want those reactions again. I've been very fortunate to have a very small bubble when I'm an exhibitionist of the people who are commenting admire it, and I don't get comments from trolls or assholes. But I'm in a place right now where I'm so unhappy with how I look and how I feel that the last thing I want to do is put anything on display. And yet I miss
Miss
it. Yeah, Silent, it's funny. Typically I'm a please do not perceive me. When we're getting kinky or I can like show off my ass, perceive that. I'm
perceive the part, not the person.
A little bit. Like,
Okay.
perceive the action that I'm part of. Like, if we're doing a scene and I'm on a spanking bench or a cross or whatever, perceive the part of my body I'm showing with you, the angle I'm showing. Do not perceive me, the person, unless I invite you in to perceive that part of me. So, like, with blog readers, it was easy because you got the whole version of me, is pieces, parts, depending on the post you read. But I didn't mind that, because most of the time somebody who found the tit pic also had read something where I'd like bled all over the page, right?
Yeah.
In a scene at a club, some people will know me, but it's not about that. So I don't know. I do just miss it. So if you've ever followed me online for any amount of time, you've probably seen me post selfies. That is the most agonizing thing. Like, it's never right. I'm never fully happy with it. And so now I have not taken a selfie in ages. I almost think that Instagram killing my personal account was the best thing that could have happened. So, Andre, if I don't, maybe somebody else who has gotten out of their own head can offer some advice, but as somebody who can't get out of my own head, I could not tell you how to help somebody else do it. I have found it to be, if external validation works for a person, and it does work for me to a certain extent, it is not the biggest part that will work. It is a sliver that is helpful, but it's an internal thing. It's a seeing yourself in a different way, or in a way that you just are happy with, or at least neutral about. It's silencing your own internal critic, and a lot of that is just, is it helpful to have a partner who finds you, attractive and sexy, whatever? Absolutely. That is always like, but it's icing. It's not the cake. I know some of the things I could do that would probably make me feel better within my own skin, but I also know that I don't know when, and I'm not at a place right now where I can focus on that, because I got to focus on other shit. And so that, but, and everybody has their own, like, what they think they would need to do to help themselves, and also they have to want to. It's easy to get comfortable in the familiarity of just going, yeah, I don't like it, so I don't worry about it. Because it takes energy, and it takes time, and it takes focus to do that. And sometimes we just don't have it in us to do. So, I don't know. Mr. Spock, that would be wonderful. I love it. Thank you.
It's 1 minute to midnight.
It is.
Yep.
I'm scrolling. Because conversations continued while I was rambling. Oh, silence says, but someone might judge me. God, I felt that. I desperately want to be a person who recognizes that people will judge, because of course they do, and to not care. And here's what's funny. When it comes to kink and power exchange, I'm about 98% of the way there. Every once in a while, I'll still feel it, because like maybe I'm not secure enough in my opinion or my knowledge on a thing, and I can but outside of that, like my appearance, my what you said a few episodes ago about how you wished the outside world could see the full me that you get to see, that, like, that's where I wish that I could just go, I don't fucking care. Judge me all you want. I'm confident and secure in myself, and I don't care. I recognize it happens, and it doesn't matter. Like, I don't think that means that harsh judgment or trolling or, won't bother you just because, but I think it's the more casual judgment of the people who think that because they have a differing opinion from yours, then your opinion is wrong or that you're saying their opinion is wrong, that kind of conflict kind of thing, or the people who just can't stand to see somebody, you know, being a little bit of a goofball where other people, I'm like, do I get secondhand embarrassment? I think the kids would call that cringe. Yeah, I do. Do I go tell a person that that their actions gave me secondhand embarrassment? No, because that's a me problem, not a them problem. But I'm not okay enough within myself where I could have the internet tell me how cringe something is and not want to curl up and die myself. Even though I would like to be that person.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
You dying over there. You're dying,
I'm
aren't
tired.
you?
I'm ready to go to bed.
I mean, I kind of am too, but I'm kind of wired.
All right. I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Love you. Mean it.
That's not how we do things.
Sure.
But it is now 12:01, so I gotta hit like. Look, you married me. You knew I was like this. We were together for years before we got married. I did not hide any of this. Okay, it's 12:02.
Okay.
It's an even number. I can handle it. We're gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being here with us. We'll do this again next month.
Yep.
We'll stream next week. I think it might be a Reddit episode. I'm trying to speak before the time changes because that'll throw me off.
There you go.
We'll talk to y'all later.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.